Mark's account also tells us that Jesus began to be very distressed and troubled. But all this, we really see the humanity of Christ here. And make no mistake, this does not mean Jesus wasn't God. He was. He was both fully God, fully man. Back in our Mark study, I made this point. We talked about when we studied Mark, how Jesus looked past the cross at the hope set before him. And that's very true. But it's important to note that that doesn't mean he didn't feel any stress. Because clearly, as we read here, he did. And some people have an issue with this, with fully God Jesus being stressed. But as I said, he was also fully man. Jesus came to identify with us, with you and me. And he can identify with times of anxiety because he had been there too. And that should encourage us. Granted, we don't want to wallow in fear and anxiety, but we are all going to feel overwhelmed sometimes when we are facing really challenging times in our lives. It's normal. It's human. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The question is, when we feel it, when we feel that way, what do we do with it? We are going to face times when we need to cry out to God with our fears and our distress. And that's okay. God wants us to go to him with these things. But if you read the Psalms, we see this throughout. The psalmist starts out by crying out to God and ends up praising him. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful illustration for you and for me and what we can do when we're feeling stressed, when we're feeling overwhelmed, to go to God with it and pray to him and cry out to him. I would encourage you to read the Psalms in those times. It's very encouraging. I would invite you to also read Psalm 22, words of despair written by David 1,000 years before Christ. But if you read it carefully, you can clearly see they point to Christ and his crucifixion. You can hear Christ crying out to God in despair in these verses, but ultimately coming to praise of God. In the point of deep distress, Jesus hit his knees and he cried out to the Father. And if Jesus did this, how much more should we be doing it?